Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today to speak to my bill, the Putting Your Best Foot Forward Act 2017. Over the past 14 years, our government has made strides to make the workplace more fair, equal and safe for all Ontarians. Since 2004, we have more than doubled the number of occupational health and safety inspectors. Additionally, we launched the highly effective Safe at Work Ontario Inspection Strategy to ensure that measures laid out by the Occupational Health and Safety Act are actually being enforced. We have worked hard to make sure that health and safety of every Ontarian is a priority and that fairness in the workplace means more than good rhetoric, but real actions. We also know that we can be and should be always doing more to ensure that work is safe and fair in our province. We have heard stories for years now from women across the country and across this province who have suffered workplace injuries because of policy mandating that employees wear high heels. In fact, this issue was brought to my attention by members of my staff earlier this year who have worked in a number of restaurants, bars, and other hospitality jobs. They share their own experiences and the experiences of their co-workers. Stories of sprained and broken ankles, of bleeding and blistered feet, and that this is happening in everything from fine dining to dive bars. I want to take a moment here to thank Alexander Byrne-Krasicki and Pax Leila Gale Santos for sharing these stories with me, because those stories are what made me realize that we need to act on to protect these workers. We know that inappropriate, unsafe footwear, like high heels, comes with a slew of health risks. This goes beyond the fact that these shoes can be uncomfortable, they are dangerous. And Madam Speaker, this isn't just conjecture and complaints. We have the science to back it up. In 2016, a study published by Biomed Central Public Health reviewed a total of 506 unique records, 27 full-text publications, and screened 20 publications. The study found that there is clear evidence that there is an association between women who wear high heels with hallux valgus, musculoskeletal pain, first-party injury, and osteoarthritis. But it doesn't end there. We have studies that have shown an association between leg swelling, chronic muscle shortening, and damage to tendons from long-term use. With this information, it is no wonder that Dr. James Hill, President of the Ontario Podiatric Medical Association, says that podiatrists treat foot pain and deformities in women twice as often as foot disabilities in men. With this information, we know that there is no shortage of reasons for why high heels are unsafe workplace footwear, and continuing to allow companies to mandate they be worn by employees is antithetical to safety and equality in the workplace. These dress codes are hurting workers across the province, literally. That is why I introduced the Putting Your Best Foot Forward Act 2017. To fix the issue of dress codes that mandate unsafe footwear, the bill amends the Occupational Health and Safety Act to prohibit employers from requiring an employee to wear footwear that is not appropriate to the protection required for their work, or that does not allow the employee to safely perform his or her work. As this House knows, current footwear protections under the Occupational Health and Safety Act deal with confined spaces, construction projects, healthcare, residential facilities, industrial establishments, mines, and mining plants. This ensures that workers who may be susceptible to specific hazards or foot injury are protected by these regulations at their workplaces. There is also a general duty clause for employers under the Occupational Health and Safety Act to take every precaution reasonable for the protection of a worker. My bill would amend the Act to specifically protect all workers from being required by their employers to wear unsafe footwear such as heels. I made the decision to amend the Occupational Health and Safety Act because it will further enhance protections for employees who are currently suffering from being forced to wear unsafe footwear, specifically high heels, by their employers. The bill would further codify the protection of workers under the Ministry of Labour's enforcement of the Occupational Health and Safety Act and its regulations. This means that workers would be further protected by the 445 health and safety inspectors that work tirelessly every day across this province to ensure compliance and to ensure workers are protected. All that said, this bill by no means bans high heels. We want workers to wear whatever makes them feel comfortable and keeps them safe by tackling mandatory heels. Madam Speaker, I want to say that over the past several days, I've had an outpouring of support from women and men all across the province in support of this bill. And I would like to share a couple of their stories to demonstrate to the House the vital importance of this bill. After tabling my bill, I received a story from Marielle in Toronto, who told me that she had received a permanent stress fracture in her foot due to poor footwear on the job. I also received a story from Janet, who told me about how her daughter was threatened with job loss if she didn't wear high heels, despite having a note from her doctor detailing her back condition and to how that footwear would be damaging to her overall health. From my riding of Davenport to London, Windsor, Thunder Bay, Sault Ste. Marie, and Ottawa, we have heard that this bill needs to be passed. This isn't just an issue at Dufferin and Dundas in my riding, but it's one that is hurting people in Dawson and de Toronto. This is a bill that would improve the lives of workers across our province, and it is time for this legislature to step up and act. So, Madam Speaker, I've laid out the facts, the problem, the solution, and the support. The facts are that we as a government are proud of our record in protecting the health and safety of Ontario workers. Ontario has one of the best safety records in Canada. Since 2004, we have more than doubled the number of occupational health and safety inspectors and launched a highly effective Safe at Work Ontario inspection strategy. It's also a fact that today we have more than 400 field inspectors visiting workplaces across the province, and it is a fact that those inspectors conducted just under 80,000 visits to over 34,000 workplaces and issued more than 118,000 orders because of non-compliance with Ontario's Occupational Health and Safety Act, and that's just in 2016-2017. But we know that there is more that we can do to protect workers, especially from unsafe footwear that is mandated by an employer. We have heard stories from all across this province of unsafe and uncomfortable footwear, and we have the science and the evidence to show that inappropriate footwear, like high heels, can damage feet in the short term and over extended periods of time. I have shown that we have a solution to the problem with the Putting Your Best Foot Forward Act 2017. This bill further protects workers and ensures that unsafe footwear in the workplace can be dealt with by the over 400 field inspectors who are highly skilled, exceedingly qualified, and protecting our workforce every day. And Madam Speaker, I have shown you the support. I have spoken to people about this issue from Bay Street to the Bay of Quinte, and Ontarians agree we need to better protect workers, and it's time that we all step up and put our best foot forward. I invite all parties of the House to join me today and help further protect workers across our province. I personally believe that this bill should be a shoo-in, and it is my sincere hope that my colleagues across the aisle agree. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.